Hello, gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your host, Mark Antimate, and in today's episode, we're going to be doing a tasting review over the Fuji single grain whiskey. And this is a bottle that has been sitting on my shelf since the day that it had debuted. I bought this back on April 21st, 2020. And as you guys know now, it's clearly about a year and a half later since then. So this is how long that this has been sitting inside of my collection. I got a lot more whiskeys like this as well that I need to hurry up and get on and review. But anyways, today, this one. I may have given you a short introduction on this inside the last video. I read a newspaper clipping saying that this has already debuted inside the United States. It says it came out in September 2021 inside the United States, but came out a year before that prior inside of Japan. I don't know much about this, so I had to pull up some information from Kirin. I'm actually looking at kirinholdings.com, which is an official site of theirs that gives all the information and the complete spiel about this thing, so to speak. All right. So I'm looking. It says the single grain whiskey is made with pure water from Mount Fuji at the Mount Fuji distillery at the foot of the Mount Fuji itself, and inside the United States went on sale in September. This is talking about the U.S. release. It says the United States represents a large percentage of sales volume of high-priced whiskey, accounting for about 35% of the global market. The share of Japanese whiskey in this market is low at about 3%, but Kirin Brewery expects room for growth in the future. All right. Kirin single grain Japanese whiskey Fuji is made exclusively from grain whiskeys from the world-renowned Mount Fuji distillery and is a combination of 3 different types of grain whiskey, each with its own unique flavor profile. All right. This is their tasting notes here. It says, taste. Kirin single grain Japanese whiskey Fuji is characterized by its fruity, orange, and grape flavors, and the taste is unaltered from what is sold in Japan, remaining true to its roots. Packaging expresses Japanese aesthetic. Kirin single grain Japanese whiskey Fuji features a simple off-white label that eliminates clutter, with the Fuji name superimposed on it in black to give a sense of depth. On the left of the label, Mount Fuji with 2 large light gray characters as written in Japanese stands proudly in the background, contrasting the dark English text. Eliminating excessive decoration expresses the beauty of the minimalist Japanese aesthetic. At the bottom of the bottle rises inward in the shape of the iconic Mount Fuji as a reminder of where this whiskey was made and further express its Japaneseness, and for the drinker to reminisce about or envision the famous peak while relaxing and enjoying its flavor. So if you look in the base of the bottle, it's a quite thick and heavy base, and it's a very sturdy bottle that I'm holding here. There's an embossing of Mount Fuji inside the bottom, and I hope that this definitely shows up on camera because I especially want you guys to see that. If I hold it any closer, I think it's gonna be blurry, so I'll put it face level and I'll try to zoom in camera, and hopefully you guys can see that. They do have a tumbler glass that you can buy out of their distillery that also has that same embossing of Mount Fuji at the base of the glass. So I hope that shows up as well. But today we're not going to be drinking out of this one, as I never do my tastings out of the tumbler. Instead, we're just going to be using the standard Kirin glass. But there's that. Is there anything else about this whiskey on this site? All right. It says the best way to experience the flavor of this product is to drink it in a Sauvignon Blanc wine glass. Pour about 30 milliliters into a wine glass, drop a small piece of ice into the glass and stir to enjoy the elegant and multi-layered aroma and mellow taste. Well, you guys know I like to drink my stuff straight up. This one comes inside of a 700 milliliter size bottle. It's the exact same bottle in the US and in Japan. 700 milliliters, and it's 46% ABV. The price in the United States is around $95 US, and how much I paid for it in Japan, I don't remember. Do I have some? I paid 5,400 Japanese yen for this, which is a lot cheaper considering that, you know, I'm intra the country. It doesn't have to be exported anywhere, and it doesn't have to account for exportation fees. So 5,400 Japanese yen. Anyways, you guys know what it is. First of all, let's go ahead and open up this top. Trying to get this off. Okay, there we go. So, I like to do my tastings off camera, and once I got all my notes compiled and everything as concise as I would like it to be, then I'm going to come back on camera and give my notes. But anyways, stay with me and stay tuned for that. Be right back. Wow. So I finished conducting my tasting review over this, and I'm just going to say it right off the bat immediately. Out of all the Japanese grain whiskeys that I have tried, this is arguably the best one, and this is just upon initial thoughts. Very quickly I came to that conclusion that this is definitely the one. This is obviously the best one that I've drank. The Fuji single grain whiskey. If you can find this inside the United States or whatever country that you may live in, and you see it sitting on the shelf, definitely pick this up. This is not one for a collection. This is definitely one that is meant to be drunk. It is absolutely, it's perfect. It's a perfect grain whiskey. I got my notes in front of me. Let me revert back to this because I don't want to leave anything out. So, you know, after the initial pour and when you first smell it, it's going to have that initial smell of oak and grain. But after just a few minutes, you know, in the beginning, that's going to give way to a very rich and fragrant whiskey here that smells of like white grapes and brandy and like sweet, very sweet baked goods like, I don't know, cake, pie, those types of things. It's truly a remarkable and memorable aroma. Like, it's just going to sit with you. And it comes up very quickly. Like I said, you know, you just wait a few minutes to let that initial, I wouldn't even call the initial smelling harsh, but just that oak smell will give way in just maybe like 3 minutes or so to this beautiful fragrant smell. And the taste. It's just something that you can let just sit on your tongue. It's so soft and mellow. And the taste is like that of like a fruit jam, not jam like you find inside of a bottle, but like a party, like a fruit jam. There's apples and pears inside of there. Some marmalade and some other things that I've yet to identify. I'm going to have to go back in and try to research even more to put a put a word on this taste that I'm tasting. But man, it's delicious. It's just like a fruit party happening inside of your mouth. It's just a very soft and mellow drink through and through, from the nosing all the way to the finish. And the finish is like a lingering maple. And there's something else inside of there. Slightly complex, not very, but just slightly. But there's just things happening throughout this one. And it's satisfying from beginning to end. So I have absolutely no complaints with this. And just the way that it hits me. This is definitely a very high quality grain whiskey. What are some of the other Japanese grain whiskeys out there? Well, there's the Cheetah. That one took a very long time to grow on me. When I initially tried that, I hated it. But after becoming a more experienced drinker, it had grew on me over time and I'd come to love it. But I love this right from the very beginning. Nika has the grain whiskeys, and I tend to like that one a little bit more than the Cheetah. But I like this better than both of them. This is absolutely amazing. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting that I would like to share about this? If I go to the website here, and I think I mentioned all this stuff, 700 milliliters, 46% ABV. It says on the back of the bottle here in English, Fuji aged in cask. I just assume that it's a reused American oak bourbon cask, probably, maybe, I don't know. Or they could be virgin cask, who knows, but I think it's American oak. I don't know what type of grain it is, maybe corn and something else. It says, enjoy the Japanese single grain whiskey made from the Mount Fuji soft water. And it says pure and mellow. Yeah, mellow is definitely the right word for it. 92 proof. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Let me go ahead and kill this off real quick. So satisfied and happy that I opened this one up today. Because who knows when I was going to open this thing. If it was not for this newspaper clipping, I was probably going to leave this one sitting on the shelf even longer. But I'm finally getting around to opening these 20, if not more, bottles of miscellaneous things that have just been sitting around my household. I got to start getting rid of these bottles so that I can start bringing in new things. I've just absolutely run out of space inside of my household. So there's that. But I'm completely satisfied with this, and I highly recommend it to you guys out there. You're going to love it. Even if you're not a drinker of grain whiskey, you're going to love it anyways. It just goes down so easy, man. I absolutely love it. It's just what a flavor hitter. Anyways, I would like to thank you guys for watching. Salute to you out in the world. Make sure that you drink responsibly, and as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy.